Hi, this is Tony Self. This is part two of my tips. I am getting better at using Facebook Live and also going live with this new studio, the OBS thing. There's a lot of little stuff you have to know, but I think I'm getting it down. So today's tip is how I do rent surveys. One thing I'm not sure everyone knows, but I have been a landlord for, I'm going to age myself, close to 30 years. Well, 25 years. I'll try to make myself a little bit younger. Really important part of having income property is knowing how to value your leases and what the rents are. And as you own property, one thing that we also just recommend to our clients is just to make sure that you maintain rents at where they should be. And that just keeps everything in order. So one thing that I want to show you is how I do these rent surveys. And I use a great tool. And one thing I want to share is that, and these rent surveys are done a number of ways. One is to have a real estate agent do it for you using the multiple listing services, which I do. But there are some times when certain rents or certain properties, like say a studio or one bedroom, are not in the MLS. Usually what happens is the higher the price of that property, the more it will actually be inside on the MLS to find the terms. I'm actually keeping my comments here to find the actual prices. So I use usually two tools. I use the multiple listing service, of course, but I also use Rentometer, and I've used Rentometer for years. And let me go ahead and show you my screen here. This is the tool that I use. It's called Rentometer. I have the Pro version. I was thinking about it today because I had to do a survey for one of my clients, and then additionally, my subscription's coming up. I pay the annual fee. And what's nice about this tool is that Rentometer has so much information in it, and it's just the entire United States. One thing I do recommend is you buy where an area that you do know, because as you know, when you purchase real estate, areas are substantially different. So you really have to understand what you're purchasing in. But if you are looking in other communities, you can use this tool to value it right away. And Rentometer has been one of my tools that I use. And another thing too that a lot of people don't know is that a Rentometer, our friends at Zillow, we used to put rents. When we put a lease in the MLS, it was sent out to all the major websites, Realtor.com, Homes.com, and Zillow.com. And I know in California and Nevada, and I'm pretty sure it's done nationwide, that's no longer the case. So what's happening is on Zillow, they're trying to go directly to the owners. So there's rents that are there that do not show up in the MLS system. So this is why when I do my rent surveys, I use two tools, the multiple listing service, and also I use Rentometer. I'm not sure if they have the Zillow data. Sometimes I'll look at the Zillow data, but it encompasses all the Google and everything else that's out there, because you have a multitude of different websites and trying to get that information. So this is what I use for that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my timer and show you how quick you can do a rent survey and how I go about doing a rent survey for an area. And let's choose an area that, we'll go ahead and choose something in Nevada. And we'll see, so you can see kind of how I do the rent survey compared to others. And I'm going to start the clock. So here we go, starting with the clock. And the stopwatch is started. Okay, so bring up Rentometer. I'm logged in, and obviously you need to put the address in. Ideally, you want to choose what it comes up with because it's all tied into the map properly. What I do is, you could of course put the rent in there. I typically leave that blank. What I like to look at is a summary, and this is available through the Pro version. Bathrooms I keep as well. When tenants look for properties, they tend to look by bedrooms. So that's one thing that's crucial. Additionally, how far back you look is also important. I'm going to keep it to 6 months, and I'm going to let Rentometer give me my search radius, which is going to be probably a bit large, but it'll give me some good ideas. Under building types, this is where you can specify if it's an apartment condo, so like close multi-family living, which is completely different. House or duplex, which is a little bit more, you usually have a yard, that kind of thing. So that's usually how I typify it. Or all. Initially, I'll go with all just to kind of see how much I'm going to have in this particular area. And then all I do next is click Analyze. And when it hits Analyze, it now gives me a quick synopsis of what's available. And this is not the final report, but just kind of gives that to me. And what I'm looking for are the sample sizes. Anything in statistics, the higher the sample size, the better the population. You'll see, though, that this is a pretty large radius. 10 miles is a big area. So these are nice sample sizes. You can see this, but I'm going to go ahead and dial this down. So what I'll do is bring it in a little bit, and when you go under search radius, you'll see this will probably not show much. Let's go for 1.5 miles around the property and click Analyze. Put the address back in there and click Search, and not bad. So this gives me 1-bedrooms, 2s, and 3s. You can tell just in this area there's a number of 3-bedroom properties, 35 of them. Ranges of 1923. The way this works on this, obviously, is you have the 25 to the 75th percentile, the median rent, which is a median of all those searches, then the average rent, which is the average of it together. So you can kind of get a good idea, and also the standard deviations, the difference between each rental price. What I'll do next is I'm going to then say, okay, this is a house. So I want to go ahead and show me the houses past 6 months, analyze that, and we'll see what the sample size is. Obviously, there's no 1-bedroom homes. So that's going to exclude any data there. We probably won't see anything. 2-bedroom are going to be rare. And you can see there, we got the 3-bedroom. What I want to look at is a 3-bedroom home. So this is my average rent. And then next what I do is I click View Pro Report, and it will show this is the final report, which I can print out. It has a map, shows me my location of where my property is located. This one here is right adjacent to it. That is a 2-bedroom, $1,000. You got one here, a 3-bedroom, $1,995. And so you can kind of get an idea of like where the properties are located. And what's nice, it gives you also this nice breakdown by bedrooms, and you'll have links to it. You can actually see it from the computer. Click this, it takes you right to Street View. This is additional property details, and the important numbers are how far away they are, and then when it was rented, and different areas is all from there. So we have our report. Stop the stopwatch, and that is under 3 minutes and 19 seconds. And I can take this report, I can email it to myself, I can print it out, but that's how I do it. And this works in different areas too. So this is the United States. If I wanted to check out California, I'll put a property in here. This is a triplex, and I'll do a summary search. Now this again, I'm going to let it do auto because in this particular area, there's not much inventory around, and I'm going to do all and let it analyze. And you can see here, this is showing up. Get 2-bedroom, 3-bedrooms. You can see the price, the difference in price. Obviously, this is in they call Old Torrance is the area. Love the area. We've lived there many, many years, and great rentals. And that's where all the good rentals are at for the Torrance area. They have a lot of older homes, Old Town, just a great place. Click View Pro Report. But one thing about Old Torrance you have to be aware of is that there's some areas in Torrance that are included. When you go past the road here, it's no longer Torrance school system. It's in LA Unified. So you'll see a lot of rentals, and they're not the same because in the areas in Torrance, obviously in the Torrance school district. Those, again, that comes with knowledge to make sure that whoever you work with, you're professional, they understand the specifics of that. So that is how I run a rent survey. It's very exciting. I like it. And if you're looking at buying income property, we watch a lot of videos. My partner and wife, Courtney, she's on Bigger Pockets all the time on the YouTube. She loves that. It's a great podcast, by the way. And they have other tools there. A lot of times I've seen people just go to different websites, and you can kind of amass this stuff yourself. But for me, the Rentometer is just the best one to do. It's all nicely there, and it does a quick survey, and it kind of gives you an idea, and you can specify what the bedroom count, square footage, and it gives you a really good idea, especially if you have an existing rental now. You want to find out like what's it like. So you can kind of just check your agent or check yourself to see what the actual prices are. So this is my tip on doing rent surveys. If you have any questions or want to have me do a rent survey for you, happy to oblige. Give me a call. You can reach me in the comments. I'm trying to get some other tips. I'm trying to vary from income properties, technology, and little things that interest me to kind of find out and just try to be consistent with all my videos. So thank you very much for watching. You have an awesome Friday afternoon. It's absolutely gorgeous outside. Although it's cold, it's only 60 degrees outside, which is super cold for us in California. So y'all have a great one. We'll talk to you very soon. Take care.